Welcome to Deep Thought, Clear Thinking, and Success. I'm going to tell you what, one of the greatest gifts anybody can have is the ability to think clearly. Now, you have some groups who might talk about gifts of the spirit. You have maybe like some charismatic churches or spiritual groups that talk about gifts of the spirit, or some people more new agey talking about psychic gifts and anything. But the greatest power anyone can have is to think clear, is to think and to think clearly, right? And because once you can think clear, one, you can get yourself out of any situation. Because the key is, if your situation is man-made, like some situation happened, then the way to solve it is man-made as well. And that man or woman is you, right? Now, you can't do anything about something with nature, but even then, your reaction to it still comes from you. It's like, a lightning strike might hit your home, burn it down. But even then, to cope with that situation and to come back from it, it still comes down to your ability to think, okay, what am I going to do about this? And then to think clearly, because everybody's thinking ultimately, but everybody's not thinking clearly. A lot of people, their mind is in the past, hence depression. They're not thinking clearly. They can't deal with the issue, or they thinking too far into the future, and thus creating anxiety. They're not thinking clearly. Like clear thinking, the ability to think, and this basically means, clear thinking means, can you think without any external input that can interrupt your ability to solve a problem? Can you think clearly? Like, can you stay calm during a situation? Can you think in a rational manner during this bad situation or good situation, whatever, right? Then that's the thing. Can you look at all angles of it? That's clear thinking. Clear thinking. Can you think of something and keep the emotion at a minimum? We're never totally without emotion, and we're gonna put it in there. But can your logical, rational thinking mind override any emotion? Because you might have an emotion towards something. You might be attached to a bad situation emotionally, but if you're thinking clearly, you're like, I gotta walk away from this. Right? You understand what I'm thinking? So that's a powerful thing. If you look at Napoleon Hill, right? What was the name of his most famous book? He wrote several, but his most famous, Think and Grow Rich. Think and grow rich. And that's the secret to it. He didn't really say it in the book, but that's the secret. If you can think it, you can make it happen. No matter what it is. If you can think of a solution, you can make it happen. But you got to think clearly. Your thinking can't be muddled by different things. See, one of the things, and this is one of the things the theys do, right? The theys keep you too emotional thinking about stuff, right? Then you don't pay attention to everything. You're not thinking clearly. You can't make a good decision on it, right? Because if you're thinking clearly, the theys can't control you. So you're not distracted, right? Because even like with this thing, I'll use a real life example with this wall. Everybody's talking about the wall, but quite frankly, if he wanted the wall up, he should have did it while there was a Republican-controlled Congress. He could have did it as soon as he came into office. He didn't have to think about it. He could have got anything then. You could have had it. Don't wait until the Democrats come in. But see, a lot of people getting emotional over it. But here's the thing. While you're getting emotional over it, there's other stuff happening that we're not paying attention to. Even with this government shutdown, there's more than just about the 800,000 employees not working right now. That's affecting other things, right? But a lot of people are so emotional. They are so emotional, focused on one aspect. They ain't not seeing the big picture. Now, I wanted to get into clear thinking and success, right? Clear thinking and success. If you truly want, one of the things that if you want to be successful in life, you need to be thinking clear. You can't be, you need to be sober, because, alcohol, drugs and stuff, that affects your thinking. You need to minimize the emotional piece. Because it has a place, because, if you have a certain emotion, you can have some compassion in what you're doing. But at the same time, you got to think clear. Now, succeeding in life, you got to have a plan. Succeeding in life, you have to have a plan. I don't care how talented you are, because you still got to navigate certain things. You can't navigate if you can't think clearly. Or if you're on the path to success, there's always roads and obstacles and everything. So if you want to get past it, you can't be all emotional and stuff. Your mind can't be muddled, right? And you need to be able to think clear in order to achieve your objective. And in fact, that's one of the real reasons for meditation. People be having all this other stuff, but it's to clear your mind up. If you can quiet your mind, then you can come up with solutions, plans, whatever you need to do. You can solve problems. And which on the path to success, plenty come up. Plenty of problems come up. But if you want to solve it or have the ability to solve it, you got to be able to think clearly. Now, like I said, I mentioned meditation. One thing, if you want to think clearly, one of the key method is being in the moment, right? That's the key method, right? Because usually when people ain't thinking clearly, they're either thinking about the past, which brings depression, or the future, which brings anxiety. So to really think, to really have a moment of clarity, you need to be in the moment. Like when I can bring my mind to the moment, I see so much. Whole world's open up for you, right? When you can sit back and you can see everything. You're just like, okay, all right. Because you're thinking clearly. You thinking about what's in front of you. You ain't thinking about what you're doing later on or something, right? So, that's one thing. The meditation, that helps you get you there, right? That helps you get you there. It teaches you to open your mind. And then, you know what? Sometimes just practice thinking about stuff. You know what? A significant amount of people just react. They react. Or they just listen to somebody who sound like they're in charge and it's like, oh, that's what's happening. It's like, no, are you really thinking about stuff? And I've actually told some people, probably got on their nerves. I was like, because especially if they would ask, I would say, your actions here show you weren't really thinking about anything, right? You really weren't thinking, right? So, get rid of all the distractions and everything, Practice thinking. Like, here's a little exercise. Pick anything and just think about it. It can be anything. Meditate on the bush outside your home or something. Just look at it. Be like, wonder what's up there. I used to do that sometimes because you'd be looking at a bush or something. You'd be like, I'm looking at a bush outside my place now. We getting birds out. I think we've had several birds who have nests in there, right? Because they always coming in there, so they probably have several nests. You got squirrels coming through. You thinking about the ecosystem. I actually did that one time. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll just look at a patch of land or something or backyard. I'll be like, I wonder how many animals out here. I remember last time I had a house and stuff, we had, I think it was some type of groundhog or something. Used to live out back. Be out there. One time I was out there with his kids. Be thinking about all this stuff. Had a little hole somewhere out there. I ain't mess with it. But cause they ain't come near the house for anything. Had some snakes too. Oh yeah, living in a rural area. Anyway, right? Just think and practice thinking about it. Learn to think. And learn to think, Just because somebody tell you something or somebody in authority tell you something, sit back and ask yourself, question it. Ask questions. Ask questions. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no bad question either. If you got a question about it, that means it's significant. But whatever you do, you want to think clearly. And that's the key to really succeeding just in life. So anyway, that's all I got for now. Keep rising and transforming. Peace.